What's going on, everybody? It's your boy JP, back again with another video. And today, I have the, I guess you would say the standard or the vanilla Samsung Galaxy Note 20 5G. Obviously, as you can tell from the literature, it is the AT&T model. I do have it unlocked, though. I did it a couple days after owning it. I've had it for a couple weeks now, actually. It's just taking me a while to do the video. I've had so many other devices, as you'll see on my my channel, that I've done videos for, all of which I've gotten around the same time. And I kind of put this towards the end because so many people have already done them. There's, I like to put out the rare devices out first. Especially the more budget conscious ones, because those seem to be the ones I get the most views from. I get the least amount of views on Samsung devices, unless it's like an A series. Like my A71 5G video has a few more views than what I was expecting. But I mean, other than that, my iPhones get the least amount of views. Understandably, high profile devices. There's definitely going to be higher quality reviews. And again, I don't ever call my videos reviews. I just call them overviews. I don't call them unboxings. I call them overviews because I've already unboxed it here. I just kind of lay it out for you to look at here. But of course, I still saw fit to do a video on the Note 20 because most videos out are of the Note 20 Ultra. The Note 20 Standard Edition right here is a bit controversial. And I'm gonna really just jump right into that. Before I even get into the specs. This is why this phone is so controversial. I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera. It has a plastic back. Okay. But it is not cheap looking, nor is it cheap feeling. It feels like a lot of those frosted back glass phones that have been coming out since late last year and this year, which is a lot of people have had a preference to that frosted glass. It has a matte texture to it, and it just feels really good to hold in the hand. It doesn't feel slippery, and this Samsung pretty much mimicked that. Now, as you know, on their A-series devices, they already mimic glass using plastic. They call it Glastic. And for the price, I think it works out great for them. Those of you that know me know I am not a huge Samsung fanatic. I am actually a really big Samsung critic. Yes, Android is my operating system, my mobile operating system of choice. I daily Android, but Samsung has been my favorite, for quite some time. Of course, I did a video earlier this year of the Galaxy S20, and for what it was, I was quite impressed. Given the fact, what impressed me about it was that it had every 5G frequency needed, not just for sub-6, low band, and mid band, but it also had the Plus and Ultra had millimeter wave built in as well, without even having to get it directly from Verizon. Of course, a standard S20 didn't have millimeter wave. Verizon later on released a standard S20 with millimeter wave specifically for them. But the Note 20s here kind of take that and go further, because this and the Ultra have every frequency, including millimeter wave. Doesn't matter if you get it from AT&T, unlocked, whatnot, what have you, etc. What's impressed me between the S20s and the Note 20 is Samsung has gotten very aggressive with their pricing. Yes, they are priced high. Right, that's not what I'm meaning. I know y'all are going to stop and be like, "Oh, wait a minute, Justin. How are they priced aggressively? This plastic back phone right here is, $1,000." What I mean by priced aggressively is their trade-in offerings. They have insane trading offerings. They're beating Apple. They're beating OnePlus, who used to offer the best trade-ins. I mean, with certain trade-ins, I don't even see how Samsung even makes money on some of these. I got this phone for $350, y'all. $350. Couldn't beat that. No contract signing, no financing. I mean, it's clear, clean and clear. IMEI, however you want to say it. No bill, no financing. $350. I traded in a. Oh man, I forgot what I even traded in. They got quite a few options with the max trade-in. That took off like $650, and I have to look back and see what I even did trade in. but and of course they got other devices that come with lower trade-in offerings, but still pretty substantial. I mean, Samsung will basically give you more than what you'll even be able to sell the device for on your own street value. They don't even do that with their A series. Their A series phones, their trade-ins are a lot lower than what the street values are. But the A series are also already aggressively priced against their competitors. The Notes, as you know, the Galaxy S's are their flagship. So, now is this phone? Would I say this phone's worth $1,000? Even with the glass back, no, I wouldn't spend $1,000. Would I spend 700 or 800? Yeah. Even with the plastic back, I would. This phone is definitely worth 700, maybe even 750 or 800. And I'm really gonna jump right into that. It's your typical Note. It has your stylus. It's spring loaded. And it works. It works just as expected. They're always adding features to it. It works very well. It's Bluetooth enabled. It does. It seems like every single year they add something that you didn't think was cool, and then they add it, and it's like, whoa, man! That I have noticed, especially since the Note 9. And this is the first Note I've actually gotten in quite a while. I didn't get the Note 10. I didn't get the Note 9. I don't think I had the Note 8. I think the Note 7 was the. Oh wait, no, that's the one that caught fire. I didn't have that one either. I think it was the Note 5 and the Galaxy S6 Edge Plus combination. I think I had one of each of those. It's been a while. But I genuinely like this Note 20. Genuinely. Beyond the stylus, it has a full HD Super AMOLED panel. 60 hertz, unfortunately, which was a bit of a downer. I thought they could have at least did 90. But you really wouldn't even be able to tell next to a 90. 120, yes, but 90, this is such a gorgeous screen. You would think it was 90, honestly. Quick charge, wire, and with the plastic back, you still get wireless charging. I've told people before, plastic back doesn't keep phones from wirelessly charging. It's only metal backs that keep them from wirelessly charging. And again, I'm telling y'all, this feels almost like a frosted glass back. You can tell it's not, but it's really hard. Like it feels. I don't know. It's hard to really describe. For what it is, it feels ultra premium still. I mean, Samsung still nailed it. It feels fantastic in the hands, ladies. You know the procedure. I'm sorry, my boy Floss, but I mean, it's fantastic. It has the triple camera setup on the back here. You're front facing with the punch hole right there at the center. Type-C, your speaker. I mean, the device is shaped very nicely too. I mean, it has the aluminum sides there. I mean, that's really the only controversial thing that I can really think of. The only other thing that I don't like about it, but they've been doing this for a while now with the smaller variant, is that they're not. Or actually, no. Actually, I think it was the other way around last year, if I'm not mistaken. But somebody can correct me in the comments. But this one doesn't have the micro SD card support, and I've gotten accustomed to Samsung always having that over the years. So it's disappointing that this does not have it. Other phones I expect that, like from OnePlus, but not Samsung. But it is what it is. I mean, $350, and I still value it for double that. I mean, that says a lot. My favorite thing about this phone, and probably the most overlooked thing, is that this phone has the Snapdragon 865 Plus. The Plus. Let me tell you why that is so significant with the Note. One of the main reasons why I have not been attracted to the Notes, but have still been somewhat attracted to the Galaxy S's, is the Galaxy S's are more cutting edge, minus the stylus. When they come out, they get the latest and greatest processor that just came out. Sometimes, or most of the times, the Galaxy S's are the first phones with the latest, Qualcomm flagship processor. 6 months later, when the Notes come out, the past few have not had the Plus variant that Qualcomm comes out with. They're the same processor that the S had 6 months before. And I mean, with the, and yeah, it gets the pin. The cameras are only slightly updated. What are you really getting? The Galaxy S's now come in large screen sizes, which was another differentiating factor between the Galaxy S and the Galaxy Note back a few years ago. That's no longer there. Especially when you got the Galaxy S20 Ultra. But the Galaxy S have been almost the same size for 2 or 3 years now. The Ultra didn't change. It wasn't the first. Didn't usher that in for the Galaxy S's. To me the upgraded processor would really differentiate these. It's kind of like when you get a OnePlus T model later on in the year. It has the upgraded processor from the other ones that were released before. Your gaming phones, they do that. They'll come out with one earlier in the year, and then 6 months later they'll drop a revised version that looks the same, but it'll have the upgraded processor. Google hasn't done it lately with the Pixels, but if y'all remember, the original Pixels had the Snapdragon 821, not the 820. See? The Note 7 that caught fire had the Snapdragon 820 when it should have had the 821. See? I was already disappointed. The fire just kind of solidified that. But those of you that may remember, the next year, when the Galaxy S8s came out, overseas, not over here in the US, Samsung released the Galaxy Note Fan Edition, FE. And those did have the Snapdragon 821, if y'all didn't know. But, what about when what about when Qualcomm did the Snapdragon 855 Plus? The Note 10s last year didn't have the 855 Plus when they should have. Of course, the Pixel should have had it as well. But they all had just the 855. When the 855 Plus had been out, a few devices were already out rocking it. These came out around that same time. They have, the Galaxy Notes and the Pixels have higher asking prices than things like the OnePlus, where they had the updated the mid-cycle refresh processor from Qualcomm. That's just one of the differentiating factors I think that should be a staple on the Note as opposed to the Galaxy S to really differentiate it. It keeps it cutting edge, and that's what they did. The Snapdragon 865 Plus, it just came out, and bam, the Galaxy Note 20 has it. Okay, just kind of goes in order. When the next Galaxy S's come out next year in March or April, of course they're going to have the 875, and if an 875 Plus is made, then I expect the Note 20 successors this time next year to have that. I realize Qualcomm doesn't always do a mid-cycle refresh. There was a lot of talk that they weren't going to do it this year because of Corona, but they managed to do one. And as late as they did it, and seeing how the Galaxy Note 20 right here was still on its normal schedule and it wasn't pushed back itself, I'm surprised that Samsung actually was able to include it. And I'm happy they did. That made me really appreciate this device. Little stuff like that I pay attention to. I like that. Anyways, it's clocked at 3.1 gigs. For those of you that don't know, the main core anyways, it's actually 3.09. And I did confirm that with benchmarks and stuff like that. 6.7 inch. If I didn't tell you the actual size of the screen, it's a 20:9 aspect ratio. In-display fingerprint sensor works wonderfully. Facial recognition works great, of course. Kind of goes without saying. 8 gigs of RAM. I think mine is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's 128 gigs of internal storage. No expandable memory, unfortunately, as I said. It's just the box contents of the fast charge, the cord. There's no AKG headphones this time around, your SIM ejector tool. But definitely more than worth the $350 I paid for it. And I would definitely, if I was to price this, I would definitely say $750 easily, just because of the processor upgrade. You know, kind of like when Samsung introduced Fortnite to mobile with the Galaxy Note 9. The Galaxy Note 20 right here ushered in Microsoft's xCloud, which is now game streaming with the Game Pass Ultimate, which includes Android game streaming, as they're now calling it, no longer xCloud. And I've used it, I've tried it, I love it. It's fantastic. It is the most amazing thing. Samsung has kept all of what makes the Note 20 great in the standard Note 20. This Note 20 also introduces wireless DeX, wireless Samsung desktop experience, and I got a chance to try that, and it works freaking phenomenal. It's like a full-blown desktop computer on your TV, and it's wireless, no cords whatsoever. You can use the screen as your mouse, or you can connect Bluetooth mouse and keyboard. I've used DeX before wired, but the wireless is just amazing. There's like almost no latency. It's crazy. I'm just thoroughly impressed, honestly. That right there is probably my favorite feature, is the wireless DeX. I really thought the S20 should have had that, but you know, the Note 20 with the Snapdragon 865 Plus, I'm not complaining whatsoever. Fantastic phone, y'all, honestly, for what it is. If you can get this for $350 or anything less than $700, you're getting a steal. That back is just like any other frosted glass back. I mean, you know, and it's more durable. I would still recommend a small minimalistic case, but you don't need one. If you watch Floss's video, he says that. You really don't. It's grippy. You don't feel like it's going to slide out of your hand like a bar of soap. It's not a fingerprint magnet. It doesn't show the dirt and grime, you know, from your hands. It still feels just as premium, man. I'm telling you, it looks premium. It just has a really nice matte texture. I'm telling you, handle it, and you're gonna find out that you're not gonna miss the glass that much, because it still looks premium. I understand spending that money. You want something premium looking. I get that. That's why I get clear TPU cases. This did not come with the phone. I bought this off of Amazon, and you know, these are the kind of cases that do come with some phones, and these are the cases I like. I know a lot of people don't like them. They're like, oh, these are just cheap cases just to get you by until you get something better. No, these are what I use. Those are what I like, because I like to show the design, the aesthetics of the device, the ergonomics. I paid money for that case. You know, I paid $4 or $5 for it, you know, and that's what I like. But heck, honestly, the phone feels more grippy without that case. It's more slippery with it. And it's just a great feeling phone. It's blazing fast, no hiccups whatsoever. My gripe isn't with the plastic build quality whatsoever. I think it's actually an aesthetic of it. I think it's just fine the way it is, and I love glass builds. My biggest gripe is the standard refresh rate, but my biggest pro, besides the Snapdragon 865 Plus, is the wireless DeX. And back to the processor, you know, when these phones, before they came out, it was rumored that the Ultra was going to get the Plus. But the standard right here was just going to get the regular 865. But that's not true, for those of you wondering. This one, the standard right here, the 6.7-inch standard Note 20, has a Snapdragon 865 Plus, just like the Ultra. It just doesn't get the higher refresh rate. And that's probably my biggest gripe right there. And again, for the third time, my favorite feature is the wireless DeX. It also synchronizes with Windows. It has the Windows Companion app built in. You can use your Android apps on your Windows computer. The Xbox game streaming with the Game Pass Ultimate is fantastic. Actually, that's probably my favorite feature over wireless DeX, and wireless DeX is number 2. But anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hit me up in the comments, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.